Assalamu alaikum again, brothers and sisters. That was Sheikh Obair, who just called, said he's should be here in a couple of minutes. But to keep you occupied, let me make a couple of announcements so that you don't have to wait afterwards. Quick reminder: Iqama time will change this Sunday. This Sunday, the Iqama times for these three salats, Fajr, Asr, and Isha will change. Fajr will be at 6:15 a.m. Asr will be at 5 p.m. and Isha will be at 8 p.m. So please make a note of that. So a couple of times happens that people say they didn't hear or they didn't know. So again, a reminder, Fajr at 6:15. If you come a little bit early for that, doesn't matter because you're here and you can pray at 6:15. And Asr at 5 p.m. and Isha at 8 p.m. Because if people come in thinking it's at 8:15, then we already missed the Jamaat. I was told, I thought Walgreens was not going to be here for the flu vaccinations, but they are here again today. If you have not had your flu shots, those are absolutely free, and please do so. It really, really helps. Sheikh Obair is here, so I will have the couple more announcements only after the Salat al-Jummah. Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala al-falah. Hayya ala al-falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله. قال الله تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا كلوا من طيبات ما رزقناكم واشكروا لله إن كنتم إياه تعبدون. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام: ما ملأ ابن آدم وعاء شرا من بطنه أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. My dear respected brothers, elders, sisters, we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We seek His forgiveness. We ask Allah to guide us and to send the choicest blessings upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his family and those who follow them until the Day of Judgment. In this short khutbah today, I just wanted to go over some of the, last time we talked about the health aspects in regards to mental health, social health, emotional health, and today just a little bit about the, when it comes to healthy eating and drinking in Islam, and what do we understand by this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not left anything out of this deen. He has given us a complete deen, and He has left nothing but He has instructed us about that thing, especially when it comes to food and drink as well. Allah Ta'ala has given us instructions And Allah has given us this food and drink as a sustenance from Him, as He is the sole sustainer of the entire creation. The animals, the humans, the plants, everything you see, sustained by Allah Ta'ala. Now, this blessing of food and drink is something that we have to thank Him for. And how do we thank Him for that? Not just by saying Alhamdulillah only, but through action. Through some actions that show that we are thankful to Him, right? He gave us this food and drink as a means of strength, as a cure and energy, and so that we may, stay upright and righteous. Because even the food that we eat has everything to do with our spirituality, with our righteousness. It has an effect and has there's a connection. So that was the reason that Allah has given us food and drink, to strengthen us, to cure us, to give us the strength to worship Him, and to keep continuing, and to keep us alive, right? But then why are people getting sick every single day? In USA, 200,000 people are sickened by foodborne disease. 200,000 every single day. 900 people hospitalized, and out of them 14 people die every day according to the CDC. This is also from the review of the book that we were talking about, Fast Food Nation. So that many people are getting sick by eating. And right now we just mentioned that food is supposed to heal us, it's supposed to give us strength. So the question comes, it's what we're eating and how much we are eating it. Those are the things that really come into play. First thing is that how much we are eating. When the scholars tell us about the, how this food came about to harm people, then the first cure that they give, or the first medicine that they give, is that to eat less. To eat less. There's a Dr. Hakim Argulada, a very famous doctor when it comes to medicine, food medicine. He says that how many people dig their graves with their teeth? How many people dig their own graves with their teeth? And one of the meanings of that is that through eating, because of not having the right choices of food, and because of over-consuming, they lead to diseases. Now, of course, everything is written, qadr, our life, our death, health, sickness, no doubt. But we have a play in this. We have our 65% could be genetics, but the rest is in our hands. You choose to be healthy, a healthy lifestyle. It's something you choose, it's something you work on. And if you want, you can let yourself go. That's up to us, right? So the first thing is that, to eat less. And then the hadith that is quoted usually with the misunderstanding that 1/3 for food, 1/3 for drink, and 1/3 for air. And usually that's quoted as if that is supposed to be the minimum. But in actuality, everyone leaves out the first part of the hadith, which the Prophet ﷺ said that the man, the son of Adam, the human being, does not fill مَا مَلَأَ ابْنِ آدَمَ وِعَاءً شَرًّا مِنْ بَطْنِهِ. The human being does not fill a container that is worse than filling the belly. So that is the worst thing. بِحَسْبِ ابْنِ آدَمَ لُقَيْمَاتٍ. It is enough for the human being to have a few morsels. But if he must have more, if you must eat, then فَالثُّلُث, then the third of drink, and the third of food, and for air. The problem is that if this is not practiced on, if the habit is to continuously fill the stomach, then there are, the numerous diseases that come from there. Right? And spiritual effects as well. From the spiritual effects, the hadith in Abu Dawood, that a person do not indulge in overeating, because it will quench the light, it will take the light away from the hearts. The light of Iman and faith will be taken away from the hearts, meaning it affects us. It affects our worship, affects our faith. And Allah did not design these bodies to overconsume. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're not designed to be that way. In fact, we can go hungry for as long as 5 to 6 weeks without food. But water, you cannot go for more than 3 days. Water is something you cannot live without. Food, you can go for a long time. And many diseases are cured through hunger. many diseases, which you probably will hear very less about, right? So this is why we have so many benefits of fasting as well. And so this is something that we look at as the first cure for this problem where people are getting sick because of food, is because they're eating too much. They're leaving no space, and even that little space for air is being filled with some kind of a dessert or something. So we have to train ourselves and our children to leave some space at the end of our food. Even if you have to leave them a bit hungry, God forbid. Right? Imagine, I'm telling some parents here, some mothers will lash out at me like, what are you saying? You know, we push our kids, eat, you didn't eat enough. Keep eating. And then remind them, keep eating. And that's giving a problem. And then some parents complain that the kids are too skinny. They're always running around, they don't have time to eat. Alhamdulillah. As long as their brain is working, they're healthy. As long as they can function and understand things, and their memory must be very sharp as well, alhamdulillah, we don't need to overfeed them. Because again, that is causing more issues than it is giving more nutrients. Anything, even healthy food, you overeat, it's going to be problematic. So this is something we need to train our kids. That's called good parenting. Sometimes give them something very simple from the beginning. It could be a loaf of bread. It could be something that's very simple that they can fulfill themselves with. Otherwise, we will get used to having too many fancy and luxurious foods. The next thing I want to touch upon is, of course, eating with the sunnah, right? The Prophet ﷺ said to honor the food, honor it. How do we honor it? Through some of these etiquettes. Number one is that we don't waste the food. We don't waste the food. The Prophet ﷺ would lick the plate after he would finish. Meaning the plate would be clean, not a single morsel on it. That is when you get the full barakah. If a morsel falls, you can pick it up, wash it, and eat it. Right? Saying Bismillah. Otherwise, there's no barakah in the food. You don't say Bismillah, the devil eats with you. If the devil eats with you, you don't feel full. And you want to continue eating and eating and eating. The incident at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, a man came, he wasn't Muslim. He ate and he kept eating. He ate 7 dishes. And that same person later on accepted Islam. He came and he ate in front of the Prophet ﷺ. He mentioned the name of Allah. After 1 plate, he was done. He was full. There was barakah in that food. Saying the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very, very necessary. Asking Allah to bless the food. Allahumma barik lana fi. Eating together. In an individual society that we live in, we don't really see this. It's like every man for themselves. You get your own portion, your own tray, your own everything. But Islam teaches us to share, to eat together. The more hands in a plate, the more barakah. And even if you don't eat in the same dish, but sitting together and eating with the family, having enough time at least to eat together. No one should eat separate. In our madrasa, in our school, we had such a habit that even the chips that we would eat at break time, some of our friends, there'd be 6, 7 people on 1 or 2 chip bags. Open up the chips and eat it together. Eat together, it gives you barakah and it fills you. Compliment the food. Say Alhamdulillah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves the person who eats and he says Alhamdulillah and he praises Allah. Compliment the food. You hardly hear anybody complimenting food. Mostly people criticize. Do not criticize the food. If you don't like it, leave it on the side. Yes, if you're in a restaurant and do a really bad job once in a while, you should let them know because you're paying for it. Right? Otherwise, do not criticize unnecessarily. Eat with your right hand. Eat with the right hand. And don't stand and eat. It's disliked. We're not saying it's haram, but it's disliked unnecessarily to stand and eat or to stand and drink. Do not lean. Do not lean and eat. The Prophet ﷺ never used to lean and eat. He would lean towards the food and say that I eat like a humble servant. And those who are kings, they lie back and and recline and eat. So one hadith says that if you combine 4 things, you have perfected your meal. You combine 4 things, you have perfected your meal. The first thing is to mention Allah. And at the end to praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And many hands partake in that meal. And the 4th thing, it should come from lawful sources. The food should come from lawful sources. Meaning you're earning a halal, then that food will give you the most benefit. Looking at the food. Allah says, فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَىٰ طَعَامِ. Looking at that food, pondering, eating, and sometimes just to think where this came from. Sometimes you're eating one morsel of rice, you're eating bread, you're eating something. You don't understand how much effort it took for it to come on this plate. From what process, from the farm to this to that, how many things it went through just to come to your plate and get ready. And imagine throwing that food away or part of it away. What a showing of kufr, meaning ungratefulness. Kufr in the sense, ungratefulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, even the masjid, we should try to apply some of these rules. One scholar said that you should have a clear plastic bag so you can see the food that's inside, if there's any food. And that can give us a little reminder. And then getting rid of water bottles. May Allah reward those people who bring for the rest. But bringing those water bottles, when you see like 90% of them, only one sip has been taken, this is wrong. This is sinful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dislikes, hates, if we can use the word, those who waste. So let us not do that. Let us bring our own bottles. Whatever we can do to lessen this waste. So the next thing is that, a quick review within a minute or two. The book I was talking about has everything to do with our food. The first thing they mention, I'm just going to mention 3-4 points, is that kids are marketed towards eating fast food, towards eating junk from the time they're young. From the time they're young, they're marketed, whatever you can get with that food to try to associate the memory so that as you're older, you can love that same food. So from the cradle to the grave, you continue eating at your favorite fast food restaurant and so on and so forth. They are designed to do that. And this is dangerous because the people who are doing this, these industries, they all have business in their mind, not the betterment of society, not their health, of course. And another thing is the flavor industry, multi-billion-dollar industry that put flavor, such flavor that you would think, you go to a restaurant, a fast food, and it smells like as if there's fresh food cooking on the grill. But it's just been packaged and frozen. Everything is added so that it smells like and it tastes like. The amount of chemicals that they put just in a strawberry milkshake, you cannot even, in an entire paragraph of words, hardly anybody can pronounce. You won't even know. So you want to eat foods that are healthy, that are tayyib, with the least amount of ingredients. Something you can easily read. That's something you want to have. When you can't read the ingredient, have no idea about it, please be careful. Because you don't know what you're consuming. I mentioned the statistic in the beginning, how people are getting sick because they don't even know what they're eating. We have to know the source we're getting it from, right? Well, this is very important. So now, what should we be eating? Because eating healthy is acting upon a command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said to eat healthy and tayyib and pure. So this is an act of worship. So the first thing is that when we do cook, there are many people, there are righteous and scholars in the past that have become that Allah has put so much barakah in their knowledge, and you see their biographies and you read, a lot of them, the parents, a lot of them, the sisters, the mothers, would cook with the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They would cook food, they would mention Allah as they're cooking. That makes a difference. So let us do that. Now as far as the exact food, I'm just going to mention 2-3. I want to make it a short reminder. Exchanging sugar with honey. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this is such a food that fihi shifa'un linnas. Allah has put shifa and cure in this. So exchanging it with sugar and having honey as much as you can. The good honey. If you go to your local store and get $2-3 honey, you're not going to get any benefit. Get good honey, local honey. Manuka honey from New Zealand, wherever you can get it from. Spend money on it. It's for your body. Whether you have to spend $100, whether you have to spend $50, better than getting the cheap stuff, right? Exchange it. The second thing is exchanging red meat. You can have meat, but the amount of meat that is consumed today, where it's almost every day, almost 3 times a day, people feel offended when there's no meat. Umar radiallahu anh said, beware of the obsession with meat, because it is the meat as a kind of addiction, like the addiction of alcohol. When you become addicted to it, you can't have anything else without it. You feel offended. You have to have the meat. And this is why we're getting disease. This is why we're getting issues. So let us switch this with another type of meat. Allah says, وَسَخَّرَ هُوَ الَّذِي سَخَّرَ لَكُمُ الْبَحْرَ لَحْمًا طَرِيًّا. Allah has, He's the one who has given us all of the sea creatures and the sea food that we have. And the lahman tariya is the fish. So let us switch this meat with as much as fish that we can eat, because this is healthy for you. It is good for you. Right? And then the third thing is milk. A pure drink, milk, that has so many benefits. People have stopped drinking milk nowadays. Very few people, especially children. Let us switch that with all these other drinks and see the difference in our health. And then of course dates, olives, all of these things that the Prophet ﷺ used to eat. If we just look at some of those things, we will see that how our health can be affected. So these are some of the foods and some of the things that have been laid out. Along with all of this, of course, no matter how good your diet is, without having exercise, without being physically fit, you cannot get benefit. And we will close that as the last point, inshallah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده. قال الله تبارك وتعالى: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وبارك على محمد وأزواجه وذريته وأصحابه أبو بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي رضي الله عنهم أجمعين. I'd like to ask the brothers to please come forward, make space for those who are trying to come in. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anh, he encouraged exercise, as he's seen in the life of the Prophet ﷺ, and he was totally against obesity. He said, إِيَّاكُمْ وَالْبِطْنَ, beware of eating too much. So the obesity he's talking about from the outcome of eating too much, not from the genetics, not from someone who's born in a certain way, but from those people who cause this obesity themselves by their eating habits. He said because it causes laziness in your salah. It's hard for a person, whereas that food, the healthy food, is supposed to give you more energy so you can go. But if you're eating and you're not able to get up, or you feel like going to sleep, this is not the best food that you want to have. And he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like an obese man. Once again, from those who overeat and make themselves obese. Right? And so eat modestly. This is the whole part of the athar of the Sahaba. He said, eat modestly, it's closer to righteousness and it's further from excess. And eating less makes you stronger in your worship. And when your desires become more dear to you, then the worship, or then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then those people will perish. So be careful. So everything has to do with how much we eat. Once Umar radiallahu anh saw a man with a big belly. And he asked him, he said, what is this? He said, this is barakah from Allah. So barakah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, this is not barakah. This is a punishment. What are you doing carrying this thing around? Meaning it would be better with someone else. So we don't want that kind of barakah. Let us share. Let us not have a situation where we can make ourselves in that situation. May Allah protect us and give us good health. So sports is encouraged. Running, swimming, archery, horse racing, wrestling, all from the sunnah. And the Prophet ﷺ would brisk walk. He would walk quickly, not lazy walk. And the Sahaba say that he would walk in such a way where we would have to almost catch up with him. It would be that quick, right? And so this is something that we need to encourage and do it as the intention that the Prophet ﷺ said the stronger believer is more beloved to Allah than the weaker believer. And that if we're stronger, we can do more good. And we can worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a better way. And we could be a good example for our children. We don't want to get sick and not have to look after our children because of something that we have caused. So we need to do something about it. Let us make the intention that we're going to change our lifestyle. We're going to eat more closer to the sunnah. We're going to increase in our, even if you spend 15, 20 minutes of your day for your own physical exercise, this can make a huge difference. So let us do that inshallah ta'ala and make that intention. Alhamdulillah, in our masjid, we have some brothers who are training, Muslim brothers who are training at a quarter of the amount that the trainers are doing it in the gyms. There's more information on the bulletin board out there. You can check that out. As far as the sisters, there's a fitness program they have started. You can ask Sister Zenith about that. So let us do whatever we can, use our local resources and try to become as healthy as we can for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that we can do more and be more pleasing to Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase us all in our health. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the ability to eat healthy and pure and tayyib. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us fit and to be able to do regular exercise and become stronger believers in every sense of the way. Amin ya Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma ighfir lana wa lil mu'minina wal mu'minat wal muslimina wal muslimat al ahya'i minhum wal amwat innaka sami'un qareebun mujibud da'awat. Allahumma inna nas'aluka as-sihha wal 'iffa wal amanata wa husna al khulqi wal rida bil qadr. Amin ya Rabbil Alameen. Ibadallah rahimakumullah. Inna Allah ya'muru bil 'adli wal ihsan wa ita'i dhil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkari wal baghi ya'idukum la'allakum tadhakkarun. Aqimus salah. Inshallah, right after the Salah, Salatul Jum'ah, we have Salatul Janazah. So if we can please stay for a few minutes and participate in the Janazah Salah.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا واعتدلوا استووا. Please make sure your heels on the line, shoulder to shoulder. Please don't leave any gaps. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الله
Brothers and sisters, once again, this is the final installment of my announcements, so please bear with me. There are three important announcements I need to make about the programs and events coming on. Of course, we're going to have a Salat al-Janazah in just a couple of minutes. So three things. On the October 19th, which is not tomorrow but the next Saturday, we have a program about our Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. It'll be a perspective from different faiths. There will be a rabbi and a priest and our own Sheikh Jamil giving their perspectives, because these are all the three faiths are called Abrahamic faiths. So we'll hear three different, it'll be in the evening after Maghrib, and we'll provide dinner at that event also, inshallah. So it'll be a very good event, October 19th, the next Saturday. And then on Sunday, October 20th, we have our annual Open Mosque Day, which is a very important event for us. Please invite your neighbors, teachers, friends, whoever, non-Muslims, to come and visit us. If they get to know us, they will better understand us, and they'll get over this fear or whatever Islamophobia or whatever attitudes they might have about Muslims. And if we are known for our hospitality more than anything else, inshallah, you will invite the people that you feel that need to visit us. And finally, last but not the least, our 30th anniversary, which we want to have a grand event on the 9th of November. The tickets are only $30 for the 30th anniversary. So we have our brothers set up a table in the back. Please, we have started making arrangements. Please purchase your tickets, inshallah, and so that we can start making what we need to do and what we need to provide. And finally, again, a reminder: flu vaccinations. Walgreens is here. Get those. And we also have Dr. Talat Khan in the back, her team, doing free blood pressure screenings, and you can talk to the doctor and follow up, and also find out how to enroll in Medicare and things like that. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. Request for the family members to come to the front, please. Please, if there are any family members, come to the front, please.
Assalamu alaikum. The brother's name is Brother Muhammad Hanbali, rahimahullah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on him. The son of Brother Bassam Hanbali. So we're just going to quickly, the niyyah for Salatul Janazah, the first takbir. After the first